let's talk about your career as a designer and kind of where you're at right now, because you work for a super dope studio, which I think a lot of people know or don't know. But
yeah, I work for a little artist by the name of Shepard Fairey.
we all took
small guy.
We all took art history. And I don't know how long, but we'll be studying this guy in the future. You know.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
my kids.
If not already. But you know, it's like Basquiat, Andy Warhol, cool. But in the future, it's gonna be.
For sure, for sure. He's already in the Smithsonian. You know.
Really?
His portrait, his Obama portrait's in the Smithsonian.
Fuck, that's tight.
That was like. So like he helped Obama get voted in because of that image. I got my start with design pretty early on, I would say. Like I was always into drawing and art and stuff, but it wasn't until like I got to high school and I really got into like skateboarding, and I was just like super into like all these logos. I was like, I want to do that. Like that's like so. Yeah. I used to have MS Paint on my PC, and I used to recreate like my favorite logos on there, you know. And then I didn't know anything about Illustrator or Photoshop. I didn't even know those programs existed. I'm a 90s kid, like for real 90s kid. Like I was into like everything. I went through my my BMX phase. Yeah. I went through my rollerblading phase. And then I went through my yo-yo phase, which I kill on the yo-yo.
Shit, dang.
Nice. And, I was just like into all this stuff. Like you were a kid, like we didn't have the internet, so it was just like go outside and play, you know. And I grew up in a really cool apartment complex where it was just like a bunch of kids. So I was always outside. There was always somebody outside like playing and stuff. But yeah, skateboarding though is the one I latched onto the most. Like I loved the board graphics. I loved the logos. Like I said, I would recreate the logos, and then I found Illustrator. I learned Illustrator. I was like, this is how it's done. But I used to order the CCS magazine. And just like circle like all my favorite graphics, like my dream complete, you know, man, if I had money to buy that shirt, I'd buy that hoodie. Like I'd buy these pants, like the Chad Muska pants.
How many designers are designers because of CCS? I'm one of the kids.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean? I was in 4th grade, just like studying.
Yeah,
you know, my
free.
my grammar is trash now because just staring. You know, I didn't pay attention in English class. I just looked at the Volcom logo, the L logo.
Volcom was my favorite actually. Yeah. Volcom
Zero.
And Dark Star. Dark Star was
the Dark Star. Yep,
one of my favorite logos. So that's what kind of that was the bug that bit me to like really kind of get into graphic design. And so I was super into it. I started my own brand like in high school. I called it Affix, like AFFIX. Funny enough, there's like a high-end streetwear brand from Japan now called Affix.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. You were too soon. It was too early.
I was way ahead of my time. Yeah. But it was called Affix, and I did the logo in. I'll send you guys a JPEG of it so you guys can like
pop it up on
there. It was like such a rip of the Arnett logo, and
Arnett. I haven't heard that name in
it was such a rip of Arnett. And I was super into bodyboarding too. I went through all the phases, you know. Like
I think SoCal's good with all the subcultures there, where we have some good employees that are like grew up in Michigan, and they're like, the subculture was like chainsaws or some shit weird, you know. So we grew up where like punk rock was made here, skateboarding was made here, BMX was made here. Yeah. So you're just immersed with this.
Yeah, and I grew up watching like all these movies, like I watched Gleaming the Cube. Yeah, that was great. That's why I was like, dang, you could do that on a skateboard. And there was this other movie, what was it called? It was a rollerblade movie.
On Disney Channel?
No, I just
made
him watch Brink the other day. That was but it was an older movie from the 90s. Jack Black is actually in it. It's like a Southern California kid moves to like the East Coast, and they hate him because he's like blonde, and he's just like, "What's up, bro?" Like, but it's like and
he's a rollerblader.
He's a rollerblader.
Really? No shit.
And they're all like hockey dudes. They're like, what the hell? Like,
shit, yeah.
so they pick on him and stuff.
He's a soul skater.
He's a soul skater.
Yeah.
He's Damage is Team X Blade.
You're X Blade, dog. Team Puppin says over here, dog.
Anyway, I was into all that stuff. So skateboarding and like you said, punk, all that shit. Like Volcom was like my favorite brand, and they were the first brand that started incorporating the punk aesthetic, like the flyer aesthetic, you know, like, and I was like, damn,
DIY,
dope,
zine style.
Yeah, like I had this patch on my backpack, and it was like an older brother and a younger brother, and it had like the anarchy and the equality symbol, and it said all the arms we need.
I remember
that on my backpack over my JanSport logo. It had to be a JanSport.
Yeah. Back then,
the only backpacks. Yeah, all you could buy.
But I had it over that, and then but yeah, so music. Then after high school, or like towards the end of high school, like senior year, I learned how to play guitar, and so that was like another like segue into design, which was like album artwork and stuff like that, and punk labels and just like punk aesthetic and all that stuff. And so I played in a ska punk band, and we had 9 members in the band.
Damn.
Yeah, because we had 2 trumpet players, 2 trombone players, and a saxophone player.
Jesus.
And then it was like the drummer. I was a singer and guitar player. We had another guitar player. We had a bass player. Yeah, it was 9 of us. I got really into like punk and ska and just like all that and hardcore. And then after that band, I started like a screamo, like hardcore band. And then I got really into that 2006, 2008 aesthetic, like, you know, like that Kill Switch Engage, like metalcore sort of As I Lay Dying stuff. But yeah, so I was like, I had all this like, you know, just like visual influence. And I went to college. I got a degree in graphic design. I got a bachelor. Then I couldn't find a job after I graduated. Right, I graduated like 2007. Couldn't find a job. I was working just like odd jobs. Like I used to count traffic on the streets.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I had this little thing that's it's like bigger than an iPhone, but it had 3 buttons for north and south and 3 buttons for east and west. And I would bring a fold-out chair, and I would sit there, and like when the traffic was going north and south, it was like,
damn.
And if a car was going right or left.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it played really well, actually.
Yeah.
That's got like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a little box with the cord across the ground now
that
does
part
that?
of it. That's part of it.
That should put you out of business?
Yeah. And then I got a job at a record store making minimum wage, like nothing. Around that time in college, I met my homie Ernesto Llerena, who's like, he was already working for Shepard, and I was like, man, that guy's got the dream job, bro. I was like, I want that job so bad. And I would hit him up every now and then, like, yo, y'all hiring? He was just like, nah. I was like, all right, whatever. So then one day he posted on his thing, he's like, I'm moving to Arizona. I need somebody to help me clean my studio. And I was like, I'll come. He's like, for real? I was like, yeah. I drove to his house, helped him clean his studio. He's like, so how's work? How's all this going? I was like, I work at a record store. I work at FYE making $7.95 an hour. Yeah. Like, you know, like, he was just like, damn. I was like, yeah. He's like, but you're good. I was like, can't find anything. So he was like, well, send me your portfolio and I'll send it to Shepard and we'll see what he says. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, I was like, MTV I was like, hell no. Like, you're fucking with me, right? And so, like, I'm cleaning and then I'm like, start thinking about it. I'm just like, are you for real? And he's just like, yeah. And I was like, don't fuck with me. I'm getting excited about this.
Yeah, you know? I'm about to leave and go get my portfolio right now.
And he was like, he's like, yeah, fool. I was like, damn. And then I asked him one more time. I was like, don't fuck with my emotions, bro. Like, I'm getting hella excited right now. Yeah. He's like, send it and we'll see what he says. I was like, all right. He's like, put together your best stuff and we'll send it to him. So I put together a little portfolio, PDF, sent it to him. And then the following week, I went to finish helping this fool clean his garage. He's like, "Oh, come inside real quick. I gotta show you something." And I was like, "Are you working on something new?" He's like, "Yeah." And he pulls up the email, and it's from Shepard, and it says, "He's rad. Get him in touch." Really? And I was like, "What the?" I get goosebumps every time.
Hell yeah,
that's sick.
I was like, "Are you serious?" He was just like, "I told you." And I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, "This is gonna change everything." And at that time, my dad, like, you know, he sat me down. He had a talk with me. He was like, "All right, you've been trying music for a while. It's not working. You tried graphic design. It's not working." He's like, "You need to sign up. I'm going to pay for your school for you to be a welder."
Damn.
And you're going to go and be a welder.
Wow.
You know? Like, and I was like, "You're right." I was like, he checked me, you know. I was like, "You're 100% right." So in that week, I went to the vocational school. Then I called Shepard, or I called student number 1, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're." I went in for the interview, and they were like, "Cool, can you start on Monday? You'll be here like 1 day or 2 days out of the week." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Holy fuck! Like, this is where I wanted to be, bro." Like a year before that, he had an art show at Subliminal Projects, which is the gallery downstairs. And I shit you not, like, I look back at the student number 1 sign, and the girl I was with at the time, I was like, "I'm gonna work here one day." I was like, "I don't know how the fuck that's gonna happen, but this is where I want to be. Like, this is it, you know." And so then I got the internship, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, so I told my dad, I was like, "Pop, I got this internship. Let me do this. It could turn into something cool, and then I'll do the welding after." He was just like, "All right, cool, go ahead." So I started the internship, and then I was there for a couple, like 3 months, and then it ended, and I was like, "Yo, can I get a job?" Like, you guys hired?
I don't want to leave.
Like, no, they're like, "We're fully staffed, sorry." But one of the dudes that was working that I befriended, his name was Jake. He was like, he's like, "I'm quitting." He was like, "My wife she's moving to the East Coast, and I'm gonna follow her. She's going to like college or something out there, or like grad school." And so he was like, "If I quit, that might open something up for you." So that's why I asked. I was like, "Can I get hired?" But they didn't know that he was gonna put his notice in yet. So then a couple weeks later, studio number 1 calls me, and they're like, "Hey, can you come in and help out with a couple things? Like, we're a little short staffed." And I was like, "Sure." Like, they're like, and for like a week I helped, and then his assistant was like, "Yo, Shepard's gonna call you tonight around 8 o'clock. Don't miss that call." And I was like, "What the fuck was he gonna call me for?" She was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "All right." So I go home, sit on the couch
with your phone,
sit right there, and I'm just like,
it's 8 o'clock.
I was just like, 8 o'clock comes, nothing.
Stressful.
9 o'clock comes, nothing. This will call me at 11 o'clock, bro.
Oh,
and I was like, and it was like ringing, and I was like, "Hello?" And he was like, "Cisco?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Shepard." I was like, "What's going on, man?" He was like, "Oh, you know, just working and stuff, blah, blah." He was like, "So Jake put in his notice in, and there's a spot, like, you know, on the team." He's like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, biggie." Like, you know, like,
"Yeah, let me think about
it." Sure. And I was like, "Actually, let me get back to you on that." And I was like,
sleeping.
He's like, "Cool." He's like, "You start on Monday." And he was like, "All right, have a good night." And I was like, holy shit. Like,
shout out Jake.
Yeah.
Shout out Jake.
Yeah,
Shout out Jake.
Wherever Jake's at these days.
Jake, thanks for quitting, bro.
Yeah.